Welcome to another one-on-one notary coaching with me, Mark Wills, educator at the Loan Signing System. If you're watching this on replay, remember every single one of these are live every Monday at noon Pacific. And all these are recorded for your viewing pleasure later. So jump to my YouTube channel, go to this Instagram feed. But if you can't make it live, understand that these are every single one recorded. These are action-packed with a bunch of knowledge. How's everybody doing watching this live today? Let's go! So today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So let me say happy Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. inspires me on so many different levels. But the best part about Martin Luther King, in my opinion, is not only what he's done for civil rights, but it's the lessons that he's taught all of us. And some of those lessons can be put into a business perspective. One of my favorite sayings, period, is what are you doing to serve others? That's a Martin Luther King Jr. and it's one of my favorite quotes that he has. What are you doing to serve others? What are you doing to help our fellow man and woman? What are we doing to help each other? But if you use that same logic, that same principle, that same foundation for your business and realize that when you serve your client, it is not a transaction. Too many times signing agency, like I do something for you, you give me money. That's a transaction. Instead of realizing I serve somebody else, I serve my client. What am I doing to bring value to my client? What am I doing to serve my client? Martin Luther King was such a genius that his principles for life is also principles for business. I tell you every single day, there's so many parallels between business and life. And my favorite quote to Martin Luther King is, what are you doing to serve others? So not only what are we doing to serve humanity, but if you think about that from a business standpoint, every single day is what am I doing to serve my clients? When you stop seeing your clients as a form of income, when you stop seeing our fellow man as just a fellow man, but instead seeing our fellow man as a brother and a sister, what are you doing to serve others? So I take that to heart personally on a personal level. Every day I try to do my best to serve other people. I donate money. I work charities. I volunteer. I serve the notary signing agent community. But I also take that logic with my clients. What am I doing to serve them? When you stop looking at a signing as a transaction, but you start looking as a signing as a way to serve your clients. And every single day, what am I doing to serve my clients? That is the word. We're in service of our clients. I think your business will change. I know your life will change. So like in the very wise words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., what are you doing to serve others? Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody. He is an idol of mine. He's someone I look up to because I think he was genius on so many different levels. So hope today you're with your family, you're soaking it in and you're taking care. And I want to say I missed everybody last week, but I'm back. Let's go. Okay. So if you were brand new to this, I hope every single Monday I jump on live to help signing agents grow their signing agent business through Notary one-on-one coaching. So if you're watching this live right now, there's a little add camera button right here. Add your name. I'll go first come, first serve. We'll jump on live. We're going to talk about your notary business. And in the theme of today, what Martin Luther King Jr. Day, who again is an idol of mine, and I admire him so much for numerous reasons. And today's theme is what are we doing to serve others? And so with that being said, I want to serve you. Let's get somebody on. There we are. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I was looking at a ceiling. I am good.
I was like, oops, I wasn't expecting
you
to
look
get
good,
chosen.
girl.
I'm a
You
mess.
look good.
Thanks.
All right, so good to see you again. Tell everybody your name, tell everybody where you're from, and let's get into some coaching.
I'm from Razia, and I'm from the San Fernando Valley. And
Okay.
I've been a notary since last August 2020.
Okay.
Actually, it's last. And I've been doing it on and off, and I would love to do it full time. I just completed your course. Amazing. Recommend it to anybody on here. And I would really love to know how I can get my foot in the door and make more money. It's been so dead since the New Year's.
Yeah, look, I tell people if you're slow, it's your fault. And I'm going to talk to you like
It
your
is my
coach,
fault.
girl.
You're right.
I'm going to talk to you like your coach. I'm going to be your cheerleader, but I'm also going to hold you accountable, right? So when everybody, a student tells me that they're slow, I'm like, well, that's your fault, right? It's like if you're not losing the weight you want to lose, That's your fault. If you don't have a good relationship like you want, that's your fault. When you learn to take accountability, life changes. That's the quick coaching. Okay. So my point is, you know, when you're slow, because remember, there's two things in our industry. There are signing days and there are marketing days. There's no such thing as a slow day. Every business in America is going to experience days with slower sales. So what do you do when there's slower sales? You go and market harder. So if you're a restaurant who has less clients over the weekend, well, that next weekend, you got to run more Facebook ads. You got to go run more newspaper ads. You got to go to the local farmer market and advertise. We're not any different than any other business in America. So my point to you is, you know, there's 300 signing services listed in the course. Have you called up each one and said why you're an amazing signing agent and why they should mark you preferred? My guess is probably not. Number two is last weekend just passed. How many open houses did you visit? My guess is probably not any. So remember, if it's slow, it's because we're not putting in effort, girl. You got this. So what I want you to focus on for the rest of the year is becoming more disciplined in your marketing efforts. What makes this business amazing is we can get business by doing nothing. Notifications will come in. But the problem with that, you're not owning a business, you're working for someone else. You're relying on somebody else to give you notifications instead of you trying to go get those notifications, instead of you trying to go get those. And that's the difference between our students who do this full time and our signing agents who are like, oh, I wish I could do this full time. The signing agents are like, I'm going to do this full time, go to open houses. If they take the script that you paid for, they realize it's going to be a little scary walking in the first time. But after I do it 2 or 3 times, it gets less scary. I get better and better. So what I want you to do for the new year, girl, is just become a little more brave to start your learning curve. Because you're waiting for this moment, and you're not alone. You're waiting for this moment where, like, all of a sudden, I'm 100% confident, and that's when we go walking into a title company. But you can't get confident in something until you do that something. And so it really starts with the courage and bravery and believing in yourself that, you know what? I am pretty darn good at what I do. And going and telling people that you're pretty darn good. Because I know you're good. Do you know you're good?
I know I'm good. I'm very confident in the work that I do. I just don't have, I guess, like you said, the bravery to just walk in and sell myself in that way.
Yeah, and so today's theme, because I love Martin Luther King Jr., right? And my favorite quote by Martin Luther King Jr. is, what are you doing to serve others?
Mm-hmm.
So my point, what I love about that sentence is stop seeing it as a transaction. Like, you're serving the local community. Like, that's how you get the mindset to change. It's not selling yourself. It's like, look, you need a notary to close that loan. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I'm the best option. This is your belief, that I'm the best option for any notary in the San Fernando Valley, because I know that I care about your clients. I know that I will walk in a very timely manner. I'm not going to rush anybody. I'm not going to make errors that are going to lead to funding conditions. So it starts with a belief that you know the service you provide is valuable, right? Mm-hmm. And then once you believe the service you provide is valuable, it's not sales, it's serving other people. Does that make sense? Like, me getting on you today is serving you. I'm not, right. You know, I want to serve. And so I don't see it as like some awkward sales pitch. Like, no, I want to serve the community, because I believe in the value I can give you. So I want you to start thinking like that. Because when you start thinking that, Roz, that you really provide an amazing service, it's no longer sales. It's now you're in the service industry. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So I think it starts when we get off here. You know, I teach you guys positive affirmations now. Positive affirmations work only if you believe it. Mm-hmm. Right. So my point is, like, no matter how many times I go in front of the mirror, I'm not going to look like a body lifter. So I can't be like, I look like a body lifter, look like a body lifter. But if I tell myself, you know, I'm in good shape, they'll start believing it. So my point is, start telling yourself, I am a good signing agent. Like, I don't make any errors. I know it. And that literally builds internal confidence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because remember what I teach you. Beliefs are simply thoughts on repeat. So whatever you believe in life, it's because you've told yourself the same thought a million times. So my point is, start telling yourself a million times that you are error-free, that you are good, that you deserve the business. See, another reason you call it sales in your head is because you don't believe you deserve the business you're asking for. Like, stop. Like, you deserve the business that you're asking for. Mm-hmm. And that's why everything starts with the belief. Please talk.
I guess what discouraged me a little bit is I did a notary for a real estate agent, a notarization for a real estate agent with finance. And she liked my work, and she liked the way I presented myself and everything. And she admitted that I knew the material and stuff. And she said, "Oh, I was a notary before too."
Yeah.
And then she scared me, and she's like, "But I stopped doing it because of this, and how the Secretary of State was after her, and this and that, for a mistake that somebody else had made."
Right.
So she's like, "I got really discouraged, but I'm now a real estate agent." She's like, "Why don't you send me your information? I'll have you as one of my notary to go to notaries." And I was like, "Great, excellent." So I emailed her and I sent her your spiel, the whole,
Yeah.
this is why I'm good.
Yeah.
This is why you should hire me. And never heard back from her again. But it's my
Okay.
fault because I got discouraged and I didn't repeatedly reach out. So it's my fault.
I want to start crying. I want to start crying because that's the moment of growth there. You have to understand, I think, I don't know if you're married or not, but
Not.
Okay, so you're single, right? And so when you go on, someone might need to ask you out 2 or 3 times before you're like, you know what, I'll give you a chance. That's called persistence. That's normal.
Yeah, I guess I'm not used to that. And I don't want to like annoy anybody, but I guess, yeah.
Okay, so there's a few themes I hear in this conversation. I don't want to annoy. The only reason you think you're annoying someone is because you don't believe in yourself enough. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't become annoying when you know that you bring value. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't believe I'm annoying anybody because I know how good I am.
I guess I don't want to push. I guess I don't want to push it hard enough where that person's going to be like, block. I don't want to ever hear from this person
all
again.
I hear is self-doubt again. That's it. I hope you're hearing it too.
Okay.
Like you're doubting yourself, right? It's like you have to understand, like, business relationships are no different than personal relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy's trying to ask you out and he's showing you value each time, it's different than some guy just saying, I want to ask you out, I want to ask you out, I want to ask you out. But if he's giving you value each time,
Mm-hmm.
and he's giving you compelling reasons, that's different. Does that make sense? So no, you should not hit up the realtor and be like, yo, this is your girl, where's my signing at?
Right.
Okay. No, you should be like, hey, this is Roz again. Is there anything I can help grow your business? Do you have any open houses this weekend I can help you throw? Add value. You're so scared of asking for business because you're not adding value.
I am scared of asking for business. I can't lie.
It's because you're not adding value. You're asking something for nothing. That's why you're scared. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So stop asking something for nothing. So instead of seeing the realtor as a source of income, why don't you text her like, hey, do you have any listings that I can help you get more exposure to, like throwing it up on my social media for you? Hey, is there any open houses that I can help you throw this weekend? Is there anything I can do to grow your business?
Okay.
You see where the mindset is saying you still want something from somebody. That's not the loan signing system way. You have to figure out how can I help you, and then in return, they're going to help you back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're asking for everything. That's why you're scared. Stop asking, start giving. Remember my theme for today. What are you doing to serve others? What are you doing to help the real estate agent?
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It all makes sense. It's all me.
So I appreciate, good look, I appreciate you coming on here. You're helping a lot of people. After you go back and watch this, you can see all the comments. Someone just wrote, this is hitting hard because I can relate. That's what someone just wrote. My point is you're not alone. My point is you're not alone. So I'm thanking you for being vulnerable enough to share this conversation with everybody.
Sure.
So what I want at the end of this is realizing that it's all about accountability. I'm going to end with this. The signing agents that make more money than you are not better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, there's a point of diminishing returns. Once someone can do an error-free signing, no one's better than you. Does that make sense? It's like,
yeah, that makes all the sense.
So what's beautiful about our business, in my opinion, isn't that someone who makes more money than you is better than you. They're just brave enough to tell more people they're a signing agent than you. That's the key to this industry. Most people will sit behind a phone and just wait for a text message.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get you in front of that phone, girl, you can do this full time.
Admittedly, that's what I've been doing. I've been sitting.
Girl, I'm so excited for you because I think this conversation was a great way to kick off Monday. I went a little bit longer with you than usual because I think there's so much value in this conversation. And I think it starts with you believing in yourself, number one, okay? Mm-hmm. Reminding yourself how great you are. Number two, it's remembering you're in service of the people you talk to. So instead of just trying to follow up with a realtor and say, I want business, follow up with the realtor and say, how can I help your business? Even if she or he says nothing, now they realize that you're not just trying to get money from them. The whole conversation changes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. They need us. We don't need them. I mean, we
That's
do essentially, but
we
yeah.
need each other.
Right.
We need each other. That's the mindset that you have to have, right? It's
Correct.
not that they need you or they need you, or the opposite. It's we need each other to make the circle go round. You
Right.
need a great signing so you can get a referral about how good the whole process was, right? The signing is the most important part of the end of the process because you're the last feeling they have. So my
Mm-hmm.
point is, like, we all need each other, but it's your job to stop feeling like you're a cog in the wheel, but you're part of the wheel. Okay? So I need you to go back out, girl, believe in yourself, start creating value for other people. Use a script, and girl, if it's slow, it's your fault. So get on the phone, start going to networking events, go to title companies. You got this. Let's go.
I got it. Thank you so much. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I think the biggest takeaway from that conversation, excuse me, I think the biggest takeaway from that conversation is the theme of today. Martin Luther King, for some of you guys who have just got on, is one of my biggest people, someone I look up to. I think Martin Luther King, not only what he did for civil rights, what he did for humanity, I think a lot of his principles can be related to business. And his favorite quote that I have is, what are you doing in service of others? What are you doing to serve others? And so I believe that's a really good philosophy for business as well as humanity. It's instead of seeing someone as a transaction, that's what Roz was seeing. It's like, I want business from you. Instead of saying, what can I do for you? And we learn that we're in service of someone else. We learn that we're actually doing something that helps their business. We realize that we're in service. It's not a transaction. Marketing becomes so much easier. My name is Mark Wills, by the way. For some of you guys who don't know who I am, I teach notary signing agents how to make money in this amazing industry. So if you have any questions or info, don't be afraid to DM me. Click the link in my bio. Who do we got next? Let's go to Steve. Steve, my man, what up?
Hi, how are you?
Dude, I'm so good, bro. Okay, so tell everybody where you're from and let's have a conversation, man.
Well, I am originally from Europe and I migrated in the US 5 years ago. And I took your course, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020. And I'm still basically learning and going through that. And most important to say, I am the best fan of your course, you know that. And I'm trying so much as I can and taking a risk. That's the goal of each of us. And I speaking to group, to our colleagues. You need to take a risk. If you don't take a risk, you are losing. You're losing the opportunities in front of your hands. And that's what I did. I was doing that from home, and then I realized like home is not the best place to do. So I took the risk and I get the office, and now I am actually in the office of the first American title.
Woo!
Most of the time.
Baby.
And it just came, you know, it just came from the Snapdog, except the signing, and I was too smart when I saw the label. It's just 2 streets away. Let's text them. Let's go and drop that
I
there.
love it. It's effort equals signings. Well, good. We're coaching right now, man. What can I coach you on? What can I help you to kind of move, get even bigger and better, babe? Well, talk to me. What's something you're stuck with, or some help that you could ask from?
Well, the biggest help maybe it will be how to maybe expand the business more to the areas around.
Okay,
you know,
good question.
like,
So let's talk about this. You know, I always tell you students that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So my point with me saying that is, especially with someone like you who already has direct business, is you can't be afraid to ask for referrals. So you got someone at First Am, right? You got to ask for First Am. Be like, hey, girl, is there anyone else that you know that you can maybe give me an email introduction to? Because what I want you to learn is escrow officers know escrow officers, right? And so most escrow officers are career escrow officers. So your girl at First Am, I guarantee, has probably been at least 2 to 3 other title companies. And so her old best friend who she got into the business with could still be in Chicago title. Right. But if you're not asking for the referrals, then you're not getting the business. So my point is don't be afraid to ask for referrals from current clients. I think it's the most overlooked way of getting business from people who already have direct relationships. And so, again, add value, walk in, what can I do for your business? And then kind of end that conversation with, hey, Is there anybody that you know that might need my services? And the only reason they haven't connected you is because you haven't asked. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So with someone who has direct contacts, don't be afraid to ask for business, right? Maybe on one of the days that you're gratituding, that's the appropriate time to maybe ask for a referral. So, you know, you're dropping in donuts or bagels or whatever you do, you know, like, hey, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the business last week.
I drop in my positive energy. That's
what I'm saying.
point.
And so don't be afraid at that point, though, to bridge that conversation. Like, hey, you know, I'm trying to grow my business as much as I can. Is there anybody that you may know? And you'd be surprised that they'll be like, oh my gosh, my best friend who got me, my mentor, she would love you. But you're not asking the right questions. Does that make sense? So what I would do is I'd make a list of all your direct contacts and then start checking off the moments of like, okay, cool. I want to go in, I want to ask her for more business. And it's simple as, do you know anyone that you could refer me to? Does that make sense?
Yes, and now it's actually even maybe easier because of the COVID, everybody works remotely.
That's
so
my point.
You can do it like a computer. Hi,
that's my point.
Can be. Yeah,
that's right. So don't be afraid to ask. You know, I tell you guys that way every point of the of your journey. Like, don't be afraid to ask for your very first signing, but also don't be afraid to ask for referrals. You know what I mean? But make sure you do the loan signing system way. You add value first, then ask. Don't just send an email. Who can you refer me to? You know what I mean? Hey, dude, I'm proud of you, bro. Keep building your business and let's go.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I thought it was a great conversation. I mean, my biggest takeaway from that is, look, for you guys getting direct business, don't be afraid to ask for more business. Be like, hey, I'm trying to grow my business. Is there anybody that you could refer me to? And I think you'd be surprised at the escrow officers being like, yeah, why didn't you ask me before? So I think it's a very easy way to grow your direct business is through the relationships you already have. Build relationships, everything else follows. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everybody. If you're chiming in a little bit later, I don't know if everybody knows, I look up to Martin Luther King Jr. for numerous reasons. What he's done for civil rights, what he's done for humanity, and he's just kindness first. If you're a loan signing system student, you know that I preach being kind. You know that I preach giving before you ask. And that's all Martin Luther King did. And one of his favorite quotes, one of my favorite quotes, of him is, what are you doing to serve others? And I believe that every day. If you're a loan signing system student, you know that we donate money from every single course to charity. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I mentor my time. It's just not physical and it's not monetary. Me and my wife donate time to foster children, to mentor them. I truly believe if you serve others, money always follows. And Martin Luther King's whole message is serving others. Kindness rules. Always be kind to one another. But I also believe those were very good principles for business. When you realize that you're in service to your clients, business is so much easier to build. Too many of you guys think business is a transaction. I give you time, you give me money. That's not how it works. That's not how life works. When you realize that we're serving our clients and it's not a transaction, business becomes so plentiful. So I ask you, what are you doing not only to serve everybody in our community, humanity, but what are you doing to serve your clients? Like, think about it from that standpoint, and your business will grow. All right, let's get someone else on here right now. Let me get Erica. Oh, what up, girl?
Hi.
Hi.
Excited to be here.
So let's tell everybody your name, where you live, and then let's rock.
So my name is Erica Montes. I live in Riverside, California. And yeah, so I'm here in Riverside, California. That's where I'm at.
Cool. Girl, this is one-on-one coaching. You're right up the street from me, basically.
Yes.
What can I do to help your business today, man?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the coaching, the mentoring, and we all know what you do to help others. And I really want to thank you for that.
You're gonna make me cry, girl. Thank you.
I really want to follow your steps. And just really quick, on Saturday, I got a random call from, I guess, a new loan signing agent. Okay. He's not in your course, which I did tell him to come join your course. But he was just looking for someone to mentor him, and he found me online, and he's like, hey, are you able to chat? I was like, yeah, of course. And he was just very happy that, you know, being a random call, that I was able to, you know, give him a little bit of what I, you know, my knowledge. So yeah, that's what I'm doing to serve others.
Yeah, I was
And
just going to say you beat me to it. I think, you know, with Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, that's a very appropriate story to tell, because when we realize that everyone can win, we can help everybody. That's the loan signing system where there's business
definitely
for all of us.
that's where blessings come from. But anyway, so going back to the coaching, my
Yes.
question is, so I have gone to a few title companies or escrow offices and drop off a few goodies, my card, taken cards from them. I haven't received anything, you know, back from them, any email, anything back really. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
How do
Okay,
I
cool. First off, you're
follow
doing
up?
nothing wrong. Okay, you know, look, what I want to coach you on right now is, let me ask you this question. Let me phrase the coaching like this. How many times, be honest, girl, how many times did you have to look up my materials and read the reviews, watch Instagrams before you're like, you know what, Mark, I'm going to give you a chance? How many, I mean, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, how many weeks did it take before you're like, I'm going to buy your course?
Several months.
Okay, perfect. Several months. That is normal, by the way. So what I'm trying to make you understand is your own purchasing habits, okay? So it wasn't that I wasn't great the first time you heard me. What it was you needed more information. So that's the coaching I want to give you, is sometimes people just need more information. And if you're not giving it to them, you're failing your business. Like if I wasn't on Instagram once a week, if I wasn't on YouTube every single once a week, I would be failing you on giving you more information about me, right? So just because you go in and talk to someone, have a great conversation, you have to understand, it's like, look, I might need to have 2 or 3 conversations before they get the value that I bring. That's not a knock against you. That's normal human behavior. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay. So I want to make sure you understand that in life, that when you're getting business, that is simply about making people get more info on you. And that's what following up is. Following up is nothing more than, look, I know you need more information to make a decision. Because look, it's like when you bought your car. You know, how many reviews did you have to read on your car? How many times you have to go test drive the car? Like, it's normal. Right. But sometimes when we start selling ourselves, we get in this my idea that they've seen me one time, they've seen me too many times, they should buy me. But yet it took you 3 months to buy a course with a money back guarantee.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
now, just a quick question. So I'm sorry, my baby's right here. Baby.
That's okay.
So when I go in, I've gone several times. Every time I go, and it's not that I can't take them anything, but should I be taking them, you know, something every time I walk in? I go in every week.
Yes and no. So the answer is yes and no. Okay, so remember what I teach you. I don't teach you to give something to give something. That's buying somebody.
Right.
What I teach you is to show gratitude. So my point is, what I want you to do is like, oh my gosh, thank you for this 10 minutes. Like, you're seeing me for 3 straight weeks, girl. I know this is getting a little bit overwhelming. Like, so thank you, right? So you're trying to create that moment. So the answer is, that's up to you to decide whether you think that gratitude moment is there. So if you feel like the gratitude moments are every time, the answer is yes. If you feel like I'm not actually getting a hold of them, then there's really no gratitude moment there. So the answer is yes and no. But I think the bigger coaching is just understand that your job every time you walk in is to give them more information about you. Let me end with this, okay? So you don't get discouraged. As when you walk into a escrow office, the escrow officer could be putting out a fire. Maybe the seller just signed a we don't want to sell the house anymore addendum. Maybe the notary messed up on the notes or it's canceled. My point is, when you walk in, you don't know how much they're retaining of your conversation. Like, I've literally been to the same title office for like 2 straight months. And finally, when I break in, I'm like, dude, what took you so long? They're like, Mark, I didn't realize you came in the first 4 times. I was so busy. They're like, you could have been telling me I won the lottery and I wouldn't have even heard you because I had 14 fires to put out. And so I think I want you to get in the mindset of who you're walking into. They're working, right? They have jobs. Right. Like, maybe the loan officer just yelled at them because their commission check was lower. Like, we don't know. So don't assume every time you come in that you get their undivided attention. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to end with this though, okay? Because what I can't teach is effort, and you're giving this business effort. I'm so freaking proud of you. Is, you know, I think a lot of times students get a little myopic on marketing strategies. So if you don't have, you're not afraid to walk in and talk to people, then maybe start putting your effort towards networking events.
Okay.
Maybe put your effort towards open houses, because I think you know the name Kim Sennett, right? Kim's in Redlands.
Yes.
She built her business off of loan officers. She hates walking into title offices. So she'll find out where loan officers network, get the loan officers to refer her to the local title offices in Redlands. Now she makes $500,000 a year. So my point is, don't knock your head against something. If you're like, you know, Mark, I've been trying, cool, let's pivot. That's a normal business move. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, but you have a beautiful smile, you have a beautiful aura, you're not afraid to talk to people. Then my point is, start using that energy towards networking events and towards open houses. So don't just fall into the trap of it's title or nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So start focusing on
meetup that she's having this coming.
Yes.
Hopefully you join us one of those meetups.
Well, girl, the conference is coming. You have no excuse not to be here, since you can drive both days from one
I will
side.
definitely be there. I wasn't there last year, but I will be there this year. Definitely.
All right, girl. Well, hey, keep putting in the work. Don't give up. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway from that conversation, in my opinion, is understanding that following up is normal. I think too many times signing agents are just like, well, you know, Mark, I had such a great first conversation. How come they haven't hired me yet? And that's like me saying, well, how come you haven't bought my course the very first time you saw me? And the answer is, you just need more information. That is normal. Get into the mind. How do you buy something? And then think about it from their perspective. Like, shoot, man, I need to see someone 3 or 4 times before I buy it. Cool. Then maybe they need to see you 3 or 4 times before they buy it. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, what a great day. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. For you guys who don't know, I look up to Martin Luther King Jr. for numerous reasons. He's an amazing human being. What he did for civil rights goes unsaid. But I think he has so many parallels between life values and what I think business values should be, because I don't believe they blur lines. I believe the way you live your life is the way you build your business. I believe the principles the values you have in your everyday life are the values that you have in business. You know, he's all about kindness and giving, and those are all the loan signing system ways. And if you can treat other people with dignity, regardless who they are, then that is the loan signing system way. You know, so many times we look like, you know, let me give you an example. Signing agents overlook the receptionist when they walk into a title office, because the receptionist can't give you something. So you're not going to treat the receptionist at a title office with dignity. Instead of looking through the receptionist, why don't you talk to the receptionist? And those are all the principles Martin Luther King has. It's like everybody's equal, everybody's amazing. And if you take those same values that you live your life with, business is easy. There's not a receptionist that I am not best friends with, because I will never overlook a receptionist. I become friends with the receptionist, and I realize the receptionist has feelings, and the receptionist has a family, and they have good days and bad days, and I treat them exactly like I would treat a title officer. So just because a receptionist can't give me business doesn't mean that I overlook receptionists. But the crazy part is the receptionist has the keys to the entire office. But so many of you guys overlook the receptionist because there's no business there. And I think that's a small lesson that Martin Luther King Jr. has. It's like, treat everybody equal, treat everybody with love and kindness, and you'd be surprised at how filled life is, and you'd be so amazing how much your business grows. Just treat everybody with kindness, everybody with respect, and life and business is just so much better. So glad you're here. My name is Mark Willis, for you guys saying, who is this guy talking? I teach notary signing guys how to make money in this amazing industry. If you want more information on me or my course, click the link in my bio. Let's continue with Albert, my man.
Mark.
I love it, dude. Talk to me. How's business? But before, some people may not recognize you from before. Tell everybody where you're from, and let's get into some coaching.
I'm Albert. I'm from right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I'm a signing agent. Well, obviously I'm a signing agent. But
All right, dog. Talk to me. How's business, man? I know we coached a couple about a month ago. So talk to me.
oh yeah, I wanted to correct myself too. I said I was locked in with some signing services. I meant direct clients. That's where I made a mistake at. And I've been going in. I took your advice. I've been going into different title companies, and I've been following up. I bought some donuts by, and like 2 to 3 said that they were going to use me, and
Nice.
I got a call. I think it was last week, but I had another signing to do, so they're going to call me in the future. But I'm
Okay,
still
so
trying to
stop.
follow up.
I'm gonna get some coaching. Hope
Okay.
everybody hears me on this. Okay, so this is really, really important for direct business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, baby. Like, you know, it's all about being passionate and caring and being kind, right? That's what I want today's theme to be. So going down that theme, man, I think too often signing agents will get a call from a direct business and they can't do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I want you to start doing is showing gratitude just for the phone call. See, a lot of times people will only bring somebody donuts or bagels if they made $150.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you be different and be like, yo, walk in the next day and be like, look, I know I couldn't do that signing for you, but here, I'm just excited and thankful you actually called me. How powerful would that be?
Yeah.
Because they only get thanked when what?
You do something for them.
When
Or
they
do
give
something
you
for
money.
Right.
They give you a signing.
Right.
You're going in being like, dude, I didn't make any money from you, but that doesn't matter because I am just so freaking honored that you called me. How powerful do you think they would be that you show gratitude just for a phone call?
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So what I want you to take away from this and like, you know, is every moment we should be full of gratitude. And remember, gratitude is the physical expression of appreciation. Just saying thank you is just appreciation. Gratitude's taking time out of your busy day, driving over to the title company, walking in and say, I am only here to say thank you.
Right.
That's powerful, right?
Right, that is.
So, because they only receive that when they actually give somebody something. You're like, look, dude, you didn't give me anything, but I am just so thankful because I'm teaching you what I used to do. Like when someone called me for something I couldn't make, I would drive over the next day and be like, dude, I know you had 5 different options for that phone call. And I was one of those options. That's insane.
Right.
Thank you. And they're like, you know, no one's ever told me thank you for an appointment they didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, you know what? But that's how I roll. I'm just super appreciative of every moment that we have. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I want you to start thinking from the standpoint of like true gratitude of every moment, right? I mean, that's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, baby. That's what he was about, right? There's no such thing as a small win.
Right.
And getting a phone call for a signing, even though you didn't get it, to me is a huge win. You've done something so well that they gave you a shot when they've never used you before. That's massive.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And that you should be tapping yourself on the back like, dude, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so those small wins equal big wins. But dude, so Albert, I think today's coaching call is, remember, don't take anything for granted. Every moment of this process, don't take it for granted. Be so appreciative of just the phone call for an appointment. Does that make sense? And then see how your client feels, because that's how you made them feel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because people will forget your face, they'll forget your name, but they'll never forget how you make them feel.
Wow.
Never forget that, man. So make everyone you work for feeling like they're the best, because they are the best. Like that lady tried to give you $150. Like, bro, like, why wouldn't you say thank you for that? You know, even though you didn't get it. You know what I mean? You feel me on this?
So I bought some donuts by, so I'm trying to think about what I can bring by next time.
Be authentic. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Like, just, you know, it's less about what it is and more about the moment of me stopping what I'm doing, walking in, saying thank you for something that didn't even happen. I guarantee that there's no notary saying thank you for just thinking of me.
Oh, okay, I see.
You see what I'm saying? Just thank you for thinking of me on that call. And guess who she's going to think about on the next appointment?
Me.
With that being said, I'm out of here, bro. Hey, lead with gratitude. Everything you do, okay?
Okay.
Make the people you serve feel that. And let's bring it, baby. Let's go.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, go get them. You know, you know, like I said, I think the biggest takeaway from that conversation, excuse me, is we need to lead everything with gratitude. I don't know why we're not more appreciative of the small moments of our journey. I don't know why we're not more appreciative of the moments that don't come to fruition, but still are powerful. Like, when you get an opportunity from a signing service and you didn't get it, like we get mad about that. Why are you getting mad about missing an opportunity for a signing instead of being appreciative that they even thought about you? And so maybe calling somebody up or sending an email or text saying, yo, just thank you for thinking about me. Gratitude's powerful. Remember, people will forget your name, they'll forget your face, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. So making people feel like they're heard, like they're appreciative, and you will get your business to the next level. Let's go! What a great day today. Hope everyone's having a blessed day. Hope you're safe, hope you're healthy, and I hope business is booming, baby. Let's get someone else on here. Oh, what up?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, how exciting.
Oh my
Hi.
gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, cool. So I don't know, but your notary, I mean, your Instagram name. So what's your name? Where are you from?
All right.
And let's talk some coaching.
Okay. My name is Sylvia, and I am from North Carolina. I started going strong with marketing 2 weeks ago, and I've been hitting law firms, signing services, and also realtors. So one of my biggest things that I need to that I need coaching on is whenever I go in to an office and I wear a mask, I just feel like people can't see my face, and that I feel like they're not trusting me too much. And then when I go in without the mask, they are like, "We're about to spray you with Lysol. Get out of here!" Right? So,
all right. Well, let's talk about a couple things. So, you know, you're not the only person in this boat. So, I think it's a great coaching moment. But there's something I want to back up first. You know,
okay.
You're in the home of Autumn Nicole. You're in the home of Deborah Smith Owens. My point is, you know, make sure that I'm speaking to everyone, not just people, but make sure that you're networking with your fellow LSS colleagues. Like, look, Deborah Smith Owens is the queen of North Carolina. So, you know, so my point is make sure that you're picking her brain, right? Make sure you're hitting up Autumn. Autumn is building a huge signing service out there in Raleigh. She has business. My girl, Deborah Smith Owens, has a huge signing service. So make sure that you're building the relationships locally. Okay. Make sure you're reaching out to them, add value. Don't just be like, hey, mentor me, figure out what you can do for them. But my point is everybody, all LSS students we have an amazing network. If you're not using it, that is your fault, not mine, right? So, you know, I want to make sure, because look, I can give you macro coaching, Sylvia, but some of the nuances of North Carolina are just going to come from Deborah, you know what I mean? Or just need to come from Autumn. But the reason I create those groups is so you have that micro coaching as well as the macro coaching by me. Okay, cool. So make sure you're utilizing, and those are just the two of the big hitters. We have a ton of people out there making a ton of money. We probably have like 40 people from North Carolina go to conference last year. So there's a ton of students out there. Okay, cool. So I would stop using the COVID as a crutch and use it more as a benefit. So my point is, you know, what we got to do is you got to use the face-to-face marketing. Lets them know you're real. But your personality needs to shine in the face. And so your personality needs to shine in your email communication. Does that make sense? So instead of being so robotic in your follow-up email, like, it was nice to meet you, you know, maybe throw in a couple, whatever your personality is, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, it was so awesome seeing the Carolina Panthers helmet on your desk. Oh my gosh, I love Christian McCaffrey. I don't know, I'm making this up, right? My point is some of your personality has to come through in the follow-up email so they know that they were heard, right? Or they were seen, excuse me. Remember what I teach you guys, when you walk in, you're trying to find moments of commonality. You're trying to find things that you have in common. And so usually that would happen face-to-face, but because of COVID, it's a little bit harder. So my point is email follow-ups become that much more integral to what you're doing. Does that make sense? Where versus, you know, normally it'd be like you'd have that moment face to face, right? But right now, Omicron's crazy. So my point is the follow-up emails are that much more important and an integral part of your marketing overall, where usually it's just, here's my contact info, I'll see you next week, right? But now, because of that, everything else is really that much more important as far as the electronic communication side. Does that make sense? And look, what I'll tell you too is just keep doing the in-person follow-up. I mean, even if it's a little uncomfortable, just make it quicker than usual. You know what I mean? Because remember, following up, okay, let me tell you this. why follow-up is so important is not because I coached the other students on. Follow-up lets people know that you're reliable, right? So part of the follow-up process isn't what you say, it's that this person is dependable. Does that make sense? Think about your own life. I don't know if you're married, but if your husband always shows up, like you're like, this person's dependable. I know I can rely on them. So even if you're not saying much in those follow-ups, but the fact that you show up, they're like, dude, this notary is just always coming in. That must mean that if that's how she does her follow-ups, imagine how diligent she is on her signings. Does that make sense? So sometimes the follow-up's more than what you just say. It's the physical letting them know, like, whoa, this person's showing up every single week. That says something about every other part of you, of how you do business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think sometimes students get a little bit concerned about follow. Well, Mark, I wasn't able to say anything. Just showing up says everything. Showing up every single week says more than what your words can frankly say. Does that make sense? If you're showing up 4 straight Wednesdays, what do you think they're saying? Like, whoa, this girl is business. Does that make sense? They're saying,
absolutely.
So don't I think sometimes students overthink, well, Mark, my follow-up conversation wasn't that great. No, it's not just what you say, it's the actions of following up. Because following up shows how reliable and dependable you are. Because look, let's say you're an escrow officer, right? And one signing agent comes in twice a month. You come in 4 times a month. Who just comes off as more reliable? Who comes off as more dependable? Does that make sense? So we have to stop seeing follow-ups just as something that we say, but showing up is more than enough to say. So if you show up for 2 months straight, they're like, dude, we got to give this girl a shot because she is persistent. She is consistent. It tells them all they need to know about you. Does that make sense? So don't give up on the follow-up just because you can't say anything because of the masks or because of COVID. The fact that you're showing up says more than enough about what you represent as far as the business and service that you can provide. You with me on that?
Perfect. Yeah. I'm excited. Yes.
Let's go. How did you like today's coaching?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much to Deborah too. She's awesome. I call her every Monday and she is just amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
Go
appreciate
get it.
you
Let's
guys.
go. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Thank you so much.
You know, I think a lot of signing agents get overwhelmed with what to say in a follow-up. When most of the time, the best thing that is said is unspoken. It's the fact that you're showing up every single Monday is showing how reliable and dependable you are. Think about it. If your notary shows up once a month, do you look as eager? Do you look as hungry? Do you look as reliable? Do you look as dependable? Do you look as disciplined? But if you show up every single Monday and all you do is give them a high five and be like, yo, I'm your guy, they're like, wow, this person, I can rely on this person. So having a consistent follow-up is almost less about what you say and more about what you're showing. I think people overthink, well, Mark, what do I say on the follow-up? Just show up. And that says the world about you. Again, there's so many things that we can parallel between life and business. And today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I believe that there's so many parallels about what he teaches in life that can be applied for being a business. And sometimes just showing up, like you know, if you're married, sometimes you don't need your husband to say something every time you don't feel well. The fact that he just shows up, or you don't need your wife to say something every time. You just need your wife to show up. She is saying something by her actions, by her discipline. Man, my wife has been the most amazing rock for me during this time. I cannot say I love you more. I cannot tell her I love her more. Sometimes she doesn't need to say anything. She just shows up. Mark, what can I do for you? What can I need? What is your foot? And that's all that matters. She shows up every single day. So I know she's someone that I could rely on. And so if you could do that too with your clients, sometimes you don't need to say anything. And just showing up every single Monday makes them realize what a great notary signing agent are, and they know how you run your business. So make sure you remember, follow-up is the key, baby. Let's go. All right, I got time for one more person. So what up?
Hey! Hi, Mark.
Hi. Okay, so I know you are from Boise, Idaho. So talk to me. Where can I coach you on? Give me some updates. Give everybody updates. Everyone probably knows who you are. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Special, and I'm in Meridian, Idaho. And so, as you know, Mark, I had my first signing. And
everybody, drop her a clapping emoji. She got her very first signing. Oh my gosh, I'm like crying for you, girl. Let's go.
I was so nervous. And I literally had to have an hour pep talk. Like, you're just like what you said earlier. You're never going to be confident if you don't do it. And I was like, I will be more confident once I actually do it. Like, I can study all day, but I got to get in there. I was so nervous. And it was kind of messy in the beginning because it was supposed to be canceled, not canceled. It was canceled. We weren't sure. No one knew if it was canceled or not. Anyways, I ended up completing it. It was so nerve-wracking. But I wanted to share, just in case there's more newbies like me on there. One of your things that you said in our training was that one of the biggest mistakes that new notaries do is they don't test their printer, and then they get their first signing. And that was me. Don't be me, guys. Don't be me. I was so stressed out. Anyways, it's better. But now I've literally all morning I've been signing up on all the signing services like I said I was going to, and I have not yet, but I have been all morning.
Okay, good.
And I had a question. I think this sounds like a stupid question because I was trying to Google it. What is like, and I've been, getting out there in our community, joining stuff like sports and life groups at church to get to know people. But what is a networking event? Like you were saying, like realtors. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Like,
so no, good question. Let's not overthink it. Literally, you should type in real estate networking events Boise. Literally, I promise you, it's going to be a ton will show up. And by the way, no such thing as stupid questions. Okay, a stupid question is a question not asked. So yeah, literally just Google real estate networking events Boise, real estate meetups Boise. I would use Boise because it's a bigger hub, but you can also do Meridian and Eagle and all the other ones too. But literally, real estate networking events. It's January. There's a trillion of them, right? Okay. So ride the wave of New Year's resolutions. Everyone's going to be at these networking events for the next couple months before New Year's resolution starts dying. But my point is, real estate networking events, Boise or whatever city you live in, real estate networking events, real estate meetups. Meetup.com is a huge one where a lot of people do it. Maybe even Eventbrite might have some that you can look up. Those are paid for. Just trying to give you as many ideas as I can. Okay. Meetup.com is usually free meetups. Eventbrite, sometimes there's paid for, investor meetings that you can maybe try to finagle your way into because there'll be realtors there, et cetera, lenders especially. But you're doing it right? Becoming a part of your community is a huge way. Don't be afraid to, make a post on your social media, feed. Do I know any realtors? Can anyone refer me to any realtors? You'd be surprised about people like, oh my gosh, my husband's a realtor. Boom, connected. You know what I mean? Okay. So don't be afraid to make some very simple posts on your social media as well. But no, the networking events are huge right now because of the New Year's resolutions. So make sure that you're just Googling real estate networking events. But look, I'm going to end with this coaching on the way out. Remember, your name in an algorithm. So you're signing up for all 300 like I've told you to do. Great, but don't stop there. You need to make sure people realize who Special is. So make sure that you make a phone call. So after you sign up with them, Google their phone number like, hey, this is Special out in Boise, Idaho. I serve in the entire Boise area. Meridian, Eagle, whatever. So I'll let you know if you don't have a preferred signing agent, go into the script. And then, so my point is, don't just rely on the algorithms. A lot of signing agents just sign up for databases and they're like, well, how have I got a phone call yet? Because you're not building a business. Remember that. So I think it's very important to remember that, you can call them up if you don't know what to say because you're nervous. That's what you have a script for, right? And then when you say the script 3 or 4 times, the 4th or 5th time will become your own. But don't be afraid to call them up and be like, hey, if you don't have a preferred notary out in Boise, here's why you should, put me on the preferred list, and then go into the script and then tell them why they should use you. But I think I'm going to end with this, is don't just say I'm a notary in Boise. That doesn't work. You got to tell them why they should mark you preferred. That is the script. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because a lot of students were like, Mark, I called up 18 signing services and I told them I'm a notary in Sacramento. I'm like, well, did you tell them why they should hire you in Sacramento? Versus just saying I'm in Sacramento or I'm in Dallas, whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes.
Cool, girl. Congratulations on the first. Keep this effort up. I promise you, when you look up in 90 days, you're going to be like, Mark, I'm killing it. So don't give up. Keep the momentum. Ride the momentum. I'm so freaking proud of you, girl. Let's go.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, this is 1 o'clock. Let me end with some parting words. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the loan signing system community. I tell people I am the least coolest part about loan signing system. It is you. It's the community that makes this place special. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And please remember, we be kind to each other. That was the Martin Luther King way. Be kind to each other. We are here to serve each other. We are all amazing. We can all be successful. We can all make as much money as we're willing to work for. If you remember that we're in service of others, you will build your business. I believe in you, but I just can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Let's go, Mike!